Luke of SimBoxx. We're down at Collier's and Moston Gym. Delighted to be joined by the man himself, Pat Barrett. How are you doing, Pat?
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, so we dropped in today. You know, we've seen you training with Zelfa and Lyndon Arthur, and they've got the fights coming up. You know, how important is it for you to keep these guys on track, you know, after lockdown and you know, fine-tuning little things ahead of both their fights?
Well, it's been hard over lockdown, and it's going to be even harder fighting behind closed doors. But, you know, as we always say, boxing is a mindset. So we have to prepare ourselves, not physically, but mentally, to adjust to something slightly different, like coming out to no crowd. It doesn't bother me, but being an ex-boxer myself, I wouldn't know how to advise someone how to deal with a situation like that, because I've never had to be in a situation where I've had to come out and there's been no crowd. But the good thing about it is they've both been on shows where they've had to come out as come out last, and the hall's been empty anyway. So it's something like that really when you're a floater.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, in terms of the guys, they seem to have done the road work, if you like, during lockdown. You know, did you have any issues with trying to keep the guys motivated? You know, they seem very self-motivated themselves in terms of they might not have been able to get in and spar and have a fight to aim towards, but their actual fitness, the levels seem to peak really well during lockdown. So did you have any worries?
No, because we've always kept, don't forget, you know, me and Tommy, we own the gym and we have our own access to the gym, and you know, we did live by it where lockdown was lockdown, nobody can train, but with these kids being elite fighters, I'd bring Lyndon in and then I'd bring Zelfa in. So I mean, and you know, we worked it like that, time, one in, one out, and I just worked one-on-one with them. Do you know what I mean? So we've always kept it ticking over right through this lockdown. We've not like had to stop because we couldn't do that. But with having them at boxing at the highest of levels, it wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned before about how, you know, Zelfa and Lyndon and their mindset might be affected because of, you know, the aspects of being behind closed doors. But as a trainer yourself, and you're going to be in the corner, you know, there's going to be very, very little amounts of people around. You know, how do you feel like you'll deal with the fact that, you know, you'll be experiencing something for the first time as well, you know, where you might be able to hear the other corner and you might think that the other corner might hear you, and, you know, there's all that kind of like mind game aspect of things?
No, not really, because as far as I'm concerned, when we get to the fight, there's nothing I can do anyway. Yeah, all the hard work stands here in the gym, and we would have done everything anyway. So by the time we get there, we're ready. The only thing I'll be telling them what they're doing wrong is, like, for instance, you're dropping your hands, you're not moving your head. You know, certain little information where it's just obvious common knowledge. Because when you go in there, it's like going on holiday. You make a big list, and I guarantee you can't just remember everything without writing it down. Okay? So all the big list is in the gym. So it's like sending me out to the corner shop just to get 3 things. So when I go in the fight, all I've got to remember is certain things, just to say, look, like I said, you're not moving your head. Don't drop that left down. And it's things that they're going to go straight away right, got that.
Absolutely. So obviously we had the return of British boxing last Friday with Frank Warren. He had his first behind closed door show. Did you manage to catch any of it at all?
No, I didn't really, no.
No problem. So obviously July 31st is going to be Lyndon coming up first. He's fighting DEX Melbourne. And what's your thoughts on DEX Melbourne as an opponent for Lyndon, and what do you think he does well? And
DEX Melbourne is a very good. Listen, I don't overlook any fighter, and DEX Melbourne is a very, very good, durable fighter. I mean, all these fighters that Carl Cleves trained, I mean, they're good, durable, they come to fight. I mean, he had Sam Bowen. I mean, he had another one, kid that boxed Marcel Braveway. He was English champion. They're all game kids that come to fight, and they're strong, and they're not just brawlers. You know, they're kind of intelligent as well. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we're not just training hard for this fight, we're training really hard, exceptionally hard. We definitely overlook Spellman. We take Spellman the same way we'll be taking Yard, the same way we'll be taking any fighter at the highest level, because Lyndon is defending his title. And forget being champion, we're challengers now. We're doing the same way, like this title was vacated. We're not looking at the way champions. That's
Absolutely.
my attitude anyway.
Absolutely. So, you know, when you say there you're not overlooking DEX Melbourne, do you think that's something that's kind of manufactured on social media, if you like, when you see that Joe Joyce has got an interim opponent and Daniel Dubois has got an interim opponent, and then they're expected to fight further down the line, and people are expecting Lyndon Arthur to come through DEX Melbourne and maybe set up the anti-yard fight again? Do you think that's more of an issue outside of the gym, certainly not inside the gym?
It's definitely not inside the gym, definitely, and this is where it matters. I don't care about outside the gym, I care inside the gym. And as long as me and Lyndon are on the same wavelength, yeah, that we ain't overlooking Spellman, definitely not. No way. Why would we overlook Spellman? What, he's lost 2 out of, I think it's 16 or something. He's still a worthy opponent. He'd give anybody hell out there. I mean, so I'm definitely not overlooking it. We're preparing for him just as hard as we would do for Yard.
Yeah. Absolutely. So moving on to August 14th, Zelfa Barrett making his Matchroom debut. He's in against Eric Donovan. 35 by the time he steps into the ring. A very expansive amateur record. 16-0 as a professional. How do you view him as an opponent for Zelfa?
Pardon?
How do you view Eric Donovan with the amateur pedigree that he has?
Once again, it's like it says, anybody that we get ready for, there's no difference between getting ready for the world title or a normal fight. Because the attitude, my attitude is the same. Okay? I never ever take anybody lightly. Yeah. I make sure that we've got every tool in the box, that we're going well equipped. Yeah? And we're bringing the one thing, that main thing ever in, and that's a very intelligent head. I mean, Zelfa's opponent is very good. He's a southpaw. He's got a good pedigree. He's undefeated. He doesn't know what it's like to lose. And he'll definitely be trying to keep that clean record. And he definitely fancies it because they've accepted the fight. So, it's not like they're not overlooking us, and we definitely are overlooking them. But at the end of the day, it's between the two fighters. My fight is going to be ready 1,000,000%, because that's the way I'm going to make sure he is ready. And it's not about him being my nephew or Lyndon being my cousin. It's me being a trainer.
Absolutely. So, moving away from the training aspect side of things, of course, you have the Black Flash promotions. And there seems to be a lot of worry about how Small Hall's going to return with no ticket sales. Like, what's your thoughts on the return of Small Hall, and do you have like a kind of time frame on when you think things can start picking back up again?
Well, we're just being patient. I mean, we've been told October. We're told next year. However it is, I say to the kids, it benefits you. It gives you a lot more time in the gym to keep learning, keep practicing, keep getting better, and just look forward to it, because no matter whatever happens, if I've got 6 shows in Liverpool, 6 shows in Manchester, they're guaranteed 12 fights a year, because they can fight in Liverpool. So as far as my job is concerned, my boxing's going to be busy anyway. Yeah, it's just as soon as we're allowed to go back to work, then, and I think a lot of people that have not been to boxing shows, on the small hall shows, are going to really learn to appreciate going back again. So the first shows that we're going to do, we're going to be busy as hell. So no matter what, it's going to be a good time. This is a minor setback.
Absolutely. So do you think, the main key, certainly when it comes to keeping your lads motivated and keeping them fit and ticking over, is just being patient. The fact that it will come eventually. It's not a question of if, it's just a question of when. And
it's a question of when. And quite clearly, you was here today and you see the lads working. They're happy, they're smiling, they're having a laugh. We're not taking it personal. We're just taking it when we're ready to go. We're ready to go, because these lads rely on me, and these lads believe in me. And as soon as it goes, no problem. Straight away we can set the dates for the shows and just get them back busy again.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Pat, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover there. I appreciate your time today. I appreciate you inviting SimBoxx down to the gym. We wish you the very best of luck for both fights and for the future moving forward as well.
Cheers, thanks a lot.